How's it going, guys? My name's Graves, and I literally just got back from the cinema. I had to go see Spider-Man Far From Home, and I want to give you a few of my thoughts and basically a quick review of what I thought of the film. So, first of all, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I think he did a good job. We got introduced with him in the first minute of the film, and he portrays himself as obviously the good guy. Anyone who reads Marvel Comics will know Mysterio is not to be taken at face value. He's the kind of guy who manipulates and lies and just wants to make himself look the best and everyone else to kind of bow down to him. He's the greatest. He's the best superhero ever, even though he doesn't actually fight anyone. We all kind of went into this thinking, well, he's obviously going to be deceptive and deceive Spider-Man. And straight from the outset, he was the nice dude, a guy from another dimension. That would have been cool. I mean, if that was the truth, Spider-Man, a multi-dimensional universe. But obviously he was lying to set up his character. Peter's torn between continuing on with his normal school life and being roped into this superhero adventure. The main theme was Peter being conflicted between just being a teenager and having to deal with such a massive responsibility of him being Spider-Man. He was obviously finding it hard to cope between I just wanted some time off and having to save the world again. And I think he's kind of struck a nice balance between being a teenager and dealing with being Spider-Man. I mean, he's been through a lot. He just wants to be a teenager. You can see that from the start. He's obviously has interests in MJ, and he kind of just wants to have a holiday away from all the superhero stuff. But of course it comes back and follows him all the way through. I think we visited London towards the end, we visited Prague, we visited Italy, and we got to see a lot of different locations that we're not used to seeing in the Marvel Universe, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed the fact that we got to see different places. What I didn't enjoy is the amount of times they try and crack jokes. I feel like they joked around too many times in the film. I couldn't take it seriously when suddenly someone was cracking a joke or making fun of the situation. I feel that's where the film let itself down, in my opinion. But with some of the subject matter that we were actually dealing with in the film, such as Tony Stark's death from being Iron Man and his death in Avengers, you kind of get the parallels where you jump from so much serious things to taking through Endgame and Infinity War, and you kind of jumped straight to Far From Home, and it's difficult for the audiences to have recovered from the amount of trauma that everyone undertook when they watched Infinity War and Endgame, to just come to straight a light-hearted film that didn't really take itself seriously, in my opinion. Yet we had Mysterio, who was a character that they could have done so much with. I feel like it fell flat a little bit, because don't get me wrong, there was a really cool scene where Mysterio was using his technologies that he made Peter Parker see things that wasn't there, and that would have been really cool. But sadly it only happened once, and I know he was projecting these elemental monsters. We had a fire, earth, wind, water monsters fighting. I kind of wish that they got into Peter's head a bit more. There was a scene in the construction site in Germany when Peter went to go find Nick Fury and tell him what was happening, but obviously Nick Fury wasn't there. It was Mysterio, and then Peter was kind of put into this dimension of illusion, and it was really cool. And we got to see, spoilers, Tony Stark rising from his grave, and with spiders and stuff crawling out his face, and it was really not very nice to see, considering who it was, Tony Stark, and we was all traumatised from the last film. That was a really cool scene, and we got to see so many different things. It reminded me of Doctor Strange in the sense that it was a bit trippy and spiritual, and we got to see things unfold, and the cinematics and everything was always obviously top notch because it was Marvel. Every single bit of CGI in the film was amazing. But yeah, this Mysterio segment was really cool, and it really kind of unleashed his actual power. Although it wasn't a power, it could still be used against a real superhero. I feel like they could have played on the Tony Stark thing a lot more. I don't know if this is just my opinion, but I feel like if what would have been cool is if Tony Stark actually rose from the grave and Spider-Man had to fight Tony, illusion Tony, at the end of the film. I don't know if that's just stupid, or I think that would have been cool, and it would have played on the emotions of Peter a lot more than just water elemental, fire breathing elementals. You know, elementals is a bit boring, a bit generic, and didn't really have a lot of personality. So yeah, as far as the supporting cast goes, MJ, Zendaya, she did good. I think she improved on her last performance. She's obviously going for the quirky teen, who's maybe not such a generic, you know, like I say, not generic character, like maybe has been portrayed in the last couple of Spider-Man films. Emma Stone and Kirsten Dunst, obviously playing the ditzy, popular girl. I think she does a good job at portraying the character in this universe. We had the two teachers who were like completely out of their comfort zone in the whole situation. One of the teachers was back in New York in the first film, and so has been through this before, but another one of the teachers was completely confused and had some weird fetish for witchcraft and witches, which played into a few of the jokes. With the supporting cast such as Flash, MJ, Ned, they all played the role well. I thought Happy was good. I always like to see Jon Favreau doing Happy. It's funny, and like I said, the laughs. There was too many laughs for my liking. It's when you watch Infinity War and Endgame, and they're able to put jokes in the film, but keep the subject matter serious, and you take it seriously. But just the balance wasn't right for me on this film. It might be my opinion. People liked it. It's up to you to go see. I definitely recommend you go see it. But just for me, too many laughs. Hurt the subject matter of the film. Also, in the end credit scene, it's revealed that everyone knows Peter Parker's identity now. It's manipulated to make it sound like Peter was the bad guy and killing Mysterio. No one knows about Mysterio being the bad guy, by the way. Yeah, and obviously, massive surprise. Probably my favourite part of the film. We got a possible multiverse tease towards the end with J.K. Simmons playing James Jonah Jameson. Obviously, he played him in the first Spider-Man from 2003, and he's reprising his role for this one. Whether or not that teases a multiverse, probably not. It's just nice to see him doing the same thing he did last time he played James Jonah Jameson, just being an absolute dickhead. But we all love him for it.
You serious?
CGI was absolutely insane. Some of the effects they were able to pull off, especially mixing between realities and illusion, that was amazing. The actual CGI in fights and the monsters and the way they destroyed environments, especially London and the Tower Bridge and some of the different environments through Prague and Venice as well, especially Venice with all the water elements destroying the tower with the bell inside. I think they did an amazing job, and obviously with it being Marvel, they're going to do an amazing job anyway. Polished, just like Pixar and Disney do an amazing job with their animation and CGI. So yeah, in conclusion, great summer film. Just maybe too many jokes for my liking. I wanted to take it a bit more serious coming from Endgame, but for what it was, Spider-Man second film, really cool. I enjoyed it. Whether or not I think it was better than the first film, probably not. As far as Marvel films go, it was decent. Definitely not my favourite Marvel film, but I did enjoy it. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you guys in the next one.